Hello children. Today we discuss about types of chemical equilibria. It's of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homo means same, hetero means different. So homogeneous equilibria means if the physical state of reactants and products are same. Means all reactants and products, they are present in same physical state. That is termed as homogeneous equilibria. For example, we can take reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen gives ammonia. Then balance the equation, 3H2, 2NH3 also indicate the physical states. So this is the expression for homogeneous equilibrium because all components, they are present in same physical state. Towards the side, heterogeneous, if the physical state of reactants and products are different, that is termed as heterogeneous equilibrium. For example, we can take decomposition of calcium carbonate giving calcium oxide and CO2. Physical state, calcium carbonate solid, calcium oxide solid, same, but CO2 is gaseous state, different. So this indicates type of heterogeneous equilibrium. Now in these cases, we can write the expression for Kp and Kc. Now how do we write expression? We talked in our previous lecture. Kc is the ratio of molar concentration of products. In product, ammonia is there, raised to the power their coefficient. So this is square divided by molar concentration of nitrogen and hydrogen raised to the power 3. Similarly, we can express for Kp, that is in terms of pressure. So in this case, we take the ratio of pressure of products to that of reactants. Pressure of product, that is ammonia raised to the power 2 divided by pressure of nitrogen multiplied by pressure of hydrogen raised to the power 3. So this is the way to write expression for Kp and Kc. Similarly, we can write here also. First, Kc, molar concentration of calcium oxide multiplied by CO2 divided by calcium carbonate. It's already a balanced chemical equation. But in this case, one very important point is there. Children, please be careful about this. As calcium oxide is in solid state, calcium carbonate is also in solid state. While writing expression for Kc, molar concentration of pure solids and pure liquid remains constant. So taken as one, so calcium oxide and calcium carbonate. For pure solid, it remains constant. That is equals to 1. So Kc is only left molar concentration of CO2. This is the way how we express Kc in case of heterogeneous equilibria. Now for Kp, Kp is only written for gaseous stage because we know solids and liquids, they are almost incompressible. That's why Kp is only expressed for gaseous state. That is only CO2. So pressure of CO2. This is expression for Kp. Take another example. H2 plus I2, 2HA balanced form. Then indicates the physical state. Again we write Kc and Kp, concentration of products divided by that of reactants. Children, this is very important how to express Kp and Kc. Pressure of Ha raised to the power 2 divided by pressure of hydrogen multiplied by pressure of iodine. Another example of heterogeneous equilibrium, reaction between nickel and carbon monoxide giving nickel tetracarbonyl. Now indicate the physical states, and then in last balance the equation. So this is the balanced form of equation. Now when we express Kc, molar concentration of solids remains constant. So we are only left with molar concentration of nickel tetracarbonyl divided by that of carbon monoxide raised to the power 4. Then we write Kp for the similar reaction, only written for gaseous state. Pressure of nickel tetracarbonyl, then pressure of carbon monoxide raised to the power 4. So I think with this, it's clear to you how do we express Kp, Kc as well as how to identify whether the given equilibria is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Now important features of equilibrium constant K, whether it is Kc or Kp. Children, when we are indicating it C means we are expressing equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. P indicates we are expressing it in terms of pressure, that's it. So the first feature is applicable only at equilibrium state. Means the expression of Kp or Kc is only written when the reaction approaches to equilibrium. Once it reaches to equilibrium, only then we can write expression of Kp or Kc, not before that. Second feature, the value of Kp or Kc is independent of initial concentration of reactants or products. Does not depend on initial concentration, that how much amount you have taken. But it depends on temperature. Whenever we write any value of Kp or Kc, that is always written at a specific temperature only. If we change the temperature, the value of Kp or Kc will also change. Next feature, equilibrium constant for reverse reaction is the inverse of original equilibrium constant. Means if I am taking a general reaction like A plus B gives X plus Y as products, and let these are the moles to balance the equation. And if the value of equilibrium constant for this reaction that I am taking as Kc, if I reverse the reaction, means I start from backward side, that I am taking X and Y as a reactant and A plus B are as product. And for the reverse reaction, if the equilibrium constant I express with the help of Kc dash, then according to this point that Kc dash will be equal to the inverse of equilibrium constant for forward reaction. Similarly, if I divide this equation by 2, on dividing the equation by 2, then new equilibrium constant Kc dash would be the root of original equilibrium constant. If I multiply this equation by 2, the whole equation if I multiply by 2, in that case the Kc dash will be equal to square of original equilibrium constant. So these are the main features of equilibrium constant. Applications of equilibrium constant. The three major applications are, first is predict the extent of reaction. Means by knowing the value of equilibrium constant, we can tell the extent of reaction, means how fast or slow is the reaction. That if the value of Kc is between, let this is the scale of value of Kc, if this is between 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power 3, means appreciable amount of reactants and products are present. Appreciable amounts of reactants and products are present at equilibrium, means almost same amount of reactants and products are there. If the value of Kc is more than 10 to the power 3, means products predominates over reactants. over reactants. If value of Kc is less than 10 to the power minus 3, means extremely less value of Kc, it indicates reactants predominates over product. Over products. And higher is the value of Kc when it increases above 10 to the power 3, the reactions, they almost proceeds to completion, right? Reaction proceeds to almost completion. But smaller is the value of Kc, means such kind of reactions, they hardly proceeds. Extremely slow reaction. Most of the reactants, they remains as such, very less amount of reactant is converted into product. So in this way, by knowing the value of Kc, we can easily tell about the extent of reaction. Next application of Kc, by knowing it, we can predict the direction of reaction. Now, how do we predict the direction of reaction? To predict the direction of reaction, we use another term, reaction quotient, that is Q. Now, what is the value of Q? How do we find this? Again, if we take this general case of a reversible reaction, X plus Y, and these are the number of moles of the balanced equation. Formula to calculate Qc is similar as that of Kc, molar concentration of products divided by molar concentration of reactants. Now, how Qc is different from Kc? Children, if you remember, the first feature of Kc is that it is only written for a equilibrium state, means whenever the reaction reaches to equilibrium, only then we can write the expression of Kc. But Qc we can write for any stage. So once we calculate the value of Qc and compare this with Kc, by comparing we can predict the direction of reaction. How? The three options are possible. If Qc comes equal to Kc, means the reaction is in equilibrium, because Kc is only written for equilibrium stage. Second option, if Qc comes greater than Kc, it means reaction is going in backward direction. Backward is fast as compared to forward. And the third option, Qc comes lesser than Kc, means the reaction going in forward direction. So in this way, with the help of Kc, we can predict the direction of reaction also. Relation between equilibrium constant and standard Gibbs free energy. Children, if you remember, this relation we had already discussed in thermodynamics unit. Delta G naught equals to minus 2.303 RT log of K, whether Kp or Kc. So from here also we can also predict the direction of reaction. How? If delta G, the value of delta G is less than 0, value of delta G naught, Gibbs free energy change, is less than 0, it means the equilibrium constant K would be more than 1. And the value of K more than 1 means products predominates over reactants, and it's a spontaneous reaction. It's a spontaneous reactions. The concentration of product would be much higher as compared to reactants, or we can say reaction proceeds in forward direction. But if the situation is opposite, means delta G naught greater than 0. On the basis of this equation, we can tell K comes less than 1, non-spontaneous one, reactants they predominates over product, or we can say the reaction has tendency to go in backward direction. So in this way, by comparing all these parameters, we can easily tell the direction of reaction. Just go through this numerical. Reaction between carbon monoxide and water is given, forming CO2 and hydrogen. For this reaction, at 800 Kelvin, value of equilibrium constant is given. And we are asked to calculate equilibrium concentration of all components, means CO, water, CO2 and hydrogen. So the equilibrium concentration we need to calculate. Initially, we are starting with 0.1 mole each of carbon monoxide and water. So children, this is one of the application of equilibrium constant. If you remember, we talked there are 3 applications of equilibrium constant. Remember, one was predicting direction of reaction. Second was tells the extent of reaction. And third, we can calculate equilibrium concentration of the components. So the third application we are using here, that how by knowing the value of Kc, we can find the equilibrium concentration. So just start with this reaction, carbon monoxide and water giving CO2 and hydrogen, indicate their physical states, all in gaseous form. Then check whether the equation is balanced or unbalanced. So just check it, already balanced equation. Now write the formula of Kc for this reaction. We know Kc is the ratio of product of molar concentration of products to that of reactants. So that is molar concentration of CO2 multiplied by hydrogen divided by carbon monoxide and H2. So here can we substitute this value here for CO and water? Just think and tell me. Can I substitute molar concentration of CO as 0.1 mole and for water also 0.1 molar? Shall I substitute this concentration or I cannot substitute this value? What's your reaction? No, I cannot. Why? Because these are initial concentrations, children, and the first feature of Kc was that it is only and only written at equilibrium stage. So this value we cannot substitute here. So how do we go? These are the initial concentration. Initially we have 0.1 molar CO and 0.1 molar H2. Now children, please tell me, what are the initial concentrations of CO2 and hydrogen? Of course 0, because products are not there initially. So these are 0. Now let at equilibrium. Now I am writing the concentrations at equilibrium. Let at equilibrium stage, X moles of reactants are converted into product. So concentration of reactant left at this stage would be 0.1 minus X, because only 1 mole is there. Same here, 0.1 minus X, because its 1 mole is also there. Similarly, how much product is formed? X and X both. So these are the equilibrium concentrations of all these components. Substitute these values here. So Kc, it's already given 4.24 equals to concentration of CO2 at equilibrium X multiplied by hydrogen, that is also X, because 1 mole of each is given. Otherwise we multiply with the number of moles, divided by CO. How much concentration at equilibrium? 0.1 minus X multiplied by for water, that is also 0.1 minus X. So on solving this, you will get the value of X. That is the answer of equilibrium concentrations of CO2 and hydrogen. And to calculate the equilibrium concentration of CO and water, subtract this x from 0.1. So in this way, this is the application of Kc, that by knowing it, we can find equilibrium concentration of the components. Another question. This is a reaction given in which A is converted into B and C. Value of Kc is also given. At a given time, the composition of reaction mixture is this much. In which direction the reaction will proceed? Children, this is another application of Kc, that we can predict the direction of reaction. To predict the direction of reaction, remember, we need to calculate the value of reaction quotient, that is Q. Because here Kc is given and these compositions are at a particular time, means it's not specified that these are equilibrium concentrations. So we cannot express these values in the formula of Kc because they are not equilibrium concentrations. So these are the concentrations at any given time. So for at any given time, we write the formula for Qc. Qc is ratio of molar concentration of products divided by molar concentration of reactant raised to the power 2. Now substitute the values here. Concentration of A, B, C each is equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 molar. So substitute these values divided by that of A. So square of A, it comes equal to 1. Now compare this value of Qc with the value of Kc. Qc is coming 1. Kc is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3, much less as compared to Qc. So here we can conclude now, as Qc is coming greater than Kc, means the reaction will proceed in backward direction. So here these are the applications of Kc, that how by knowing Kc we can tell the direction of reaction, we can tell state of equilibrium, or we can calculate the molar concentration of reactants as well as that of products. Right, children?